Thank you so very much. It's a real honor for me to be able to join you today and talk about the incredible importance that the mining sector holds for our future. It's a terrific opportunity for me to be here from British Columbia to network and learn and discuss the truly exciting advancements that we are seeing throughout the mining and energy industries around the world. And of course, we're already seeing transformation that was unimaginable just not that long ago. And this really brings us all closer to our shared net zero goals. I want to begin by acknowledging the organizers and every single person who's here for your commitment to building a sustainable and prosperous global mining sector. Climate change is having a tangible impact on people around the world. No matter where you're from, we have all seen devastating news about or even experienced drought and extreme heat, flood and wildfires. We each have a role in addressing and even reversing climate change. And I believe that we are stronger when we work together to create lasting change. We stand on the brink of a new era, an era of a low-carbon future, and it's a future that holds the promise of prosperity for us and for generations to come. British Columbia is well poised for this transition to a clean future, and our mining sector has a lot to offer the world. The mining and mineral exploration sector is a foundational part of BC's economy, with an estimated production value of almost $18 billion in 2022. Our industrial mineral and coal exploration in BC grew to a record $740 million in 2022, which is up $80.6 million from 2021. We are a geologically rich and already responsibly producing some of the critical minerals and metals that are essential to fight climate change. And in fact, we are Canada's largest producer of copper and the only producer of molybdenum. And we can be and want to be a supplier of choice for many, many more critical minerals. So to capitalize on the growing global demand for these important commodities, our provincial government will soon release a critical minerals strategy. It's a strategy that will help us unlock our potential to produce additional critical minerals such as nickel, cobalt, and others, as well as add value and grow downstream opportunities. In support of these goals, our BC Geological Survey, established back in 1895, provides free and accessible digital geoscience information. And to date, its databases and geospatial web services are ranked in the top 10 globally, giving BC a competitive advantage over other jurisdictions in exploration and mining sectors. I have a deep sense of optimism about our upcoming strategy. It is solid, it is backed by science, and it will ramp up our province's potential for a wider range of critical minerals development. That potential is backstopped by our strong focus on environmental, social, and governance principles. Our ESG ethics have attracted the attention of the investment community far beyond our borders, positioning us to be a world-leading mining jurisdiction. The province of BC is committed to creating an economic and investment climate that is ESG-centric as we continue building an inclusive, sustainable, and innovative economy that works for everyone. We offer a stable business and regulatory environment in a non-conflict region, and this means more certainty and predictability for investments and operations. Our long-standing progressive policy commitments and frameworks mean that companies operating in BC are held to high standards, and we are steadfastly committed to transitioning to a low-carbon industry, to reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, a strong regulatory regime, and an attractive fiscal environment. Today, we have several initiatives underway to support and share our ESG performance with the public and investment community. We're exploring ways to promote and leverage our ESG strengths through an ESG Center of Excellence, as well as emerging digital tools that enable BC mines to demonstrate their products' origins and sustainability value. So for example, our Energy and Mines Digital Trust project is focusing on digital organizational identity and has successfully implemented the use of digital trust technology to prove out sustainability data for BC mining operators. It has piqued the attention of the U.S. Customs Border Protection Agency and the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe, both of whom have written us with support for this project. Clean BC is our climate plan in British Columbia, and it supports initiatives that encourage the use of renewable energy in mining operations and incentivizes the adoption of electric vehicles and machinery. In 2022, we released an interim major mines reclamation security policy that protects BC's taxpayers while ensuring that mining continues to be nationally and globally competitive. We require annual emissions reporting from industrial facilities, which are publicly available. And finally, the BC Health, Safety and Reclamation Code is continuously reviewed by a committee of Indigenous, labor, and industry representatives to ensure that our mining standards remain at the forefront of worker safety and environmental protection and innovation. At our very fingertips, we have the potential to open new market opportunities for BC's natural resource industry and solidify our province as a world leader in digital trust solutions and low-carbon innovation. That's not all. Besides our strong focus on ESG, our province has natural business advantages like fully integrated port, rail, and road transportation systems, providing access for the largest international clients for critical minerals. We have strong collaboration across all levels of government, and that includes our Indigenous partners, and that's creating a stable business environment. Our electricity is generated from clean and renewable sources that help make sustainability goals achievable. We have competitive taxes, strong fiscal incentives to support mining sector growth, and a diverse, skilled, and highly educated and multilingual workforce. So these are examples that I really believe speak for themselves. We're enthusiastically pursuing our net zero goals. We're going to keep moving forward to the low carbon future. To support our success and uphold exemplary benchmarks, it's critical that we thoughtfully develop the regulatory landscape. We're committed to providing and improving the overall efficiency of permitting decisions and reducing timelines while maintaining high environmental standards. And it is working. Our government tracks all progress related to mine permitting, and our analysis of major project review timelines shows that we are absolutely trending in the right direction. So I'm excited about the prospect of seeing several major mines under construction in BC moving towards operations over the next year. One of these that I'm talking about is Caribou Gold, a new underground gold mine and processing plant proposed for development near a tiny town called Wells, British Columbia. And last month, the province issued an environmental assessment certificate to Osisko Development Corp for Caribou Gold. The project is now in the permitting phase. This is a mine that will fully electrify all underground equipment, making it one of the first truly electric underground mines in Canada. Another terrific example is the Blackwater Gold project in the central interior of BC. As BC's first new open pit mine in almost a decade, the Blackwater mine is a role model for a thriving and future-focused mining sector. Because of technological advancements like the electrification of its mining fleet and processing plant, the mine will be able to produce gold and silver with some of the lowest greenhouse gas emissions in the world. And with our province's strong focus on permitting efficiency, the mine's owner also obtained its operating permit in 10 months from final application to green light. So while we're here to speak about the mining sector and how it's defining forward momentum of our shared and prosperous future, we understand that absolutely nothing happens without partnership. Partnership with First Nations, local communities, and engagement with stakeholders brings the needed and diverse range of perspectives to a project. And I want to acknowledge the very crucial role that British Columbia's First Nations have in BC's mining sector and their contributions. Through our work together to strengthen the sector, we're ensuring that British Columbians today and in the future can make a good living in mining, and also that companies who are setting up shop in BC have a positive experience from start to finish. I want to commend the Nisga'a government, who is here with us in London, for their important role in advancing the mining sector. Remarkably, 61% of mineral exploration within BC occurs in the Northwest, which includes Nisga'a territory. So we are very fortunate to have them as a partner and happy that they've been able to be here with us in London. And I encourage you, if you can, to reach out to Nisga'a about the significant investment opportunities that can arise when projects are approached through a partnership lens with First Nations from the very start. Their knowledge of the land goes back millennia. And more than just that, it is advantageous in the early stages of a project's development. It's essential to its success. First Nations communities also provide experienced, skilled labor. They fill the positions that are required for a project's operational needs. I also want to recognize the entire BC mining sector for being leaders in reconciliation. BC was the first province in Canada to share mineral tax revenue with First Nations, and today we have 53 individual mineral tax revenue sharing agreements and have shared an $81 million in 2021-2022, the fiscal year alone. British Columbia was also the first jurisdiction in Canada to adopt the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples through legislation. Our Declaration Act aims to create a path forward that respects the human rights of Indigenous peoples while introducing better transparency and predictability to the work that we do together. It mandates us to bring provincial laws into alignment with the UN Declaration in consultation and cooperation with Indigenous peoples. One particular section of the Declaration Act includes provisions for shared decision-making between the province of British Columbia and First Nations. I also know that modernizing BC's mineral tenure system is a long-standing priority for First Nations and First Nations organizations. And in BC, we are working towards this in partnership with Indigenous peoples to develop a vision and identify concrete changes that are needed to complete mineral tenure reform. In this plan, we committed to the work. We have this work underway, and it will provide even more of the regulatory certainty that industry and communities are looking for. I also want to acknowledge the vital role that BC's Regional Mining Alliance plays in shaping BC's mining sector, and their devoted work is one of the primary reasons why I am here today. The Alliance is a partnership amongst the province of BC, First Nations governments, and industry partners. We have a booth in the back right corner of the trade show, and I encourage you to visit us. The Alliance is dedicated to promoting BC's mining opportunities internationally with a focus on exploration projects. And through this alliance, we demonstrate that our relationships are our strength. In BC, fostering genuine partnerships with First Nations and stakeholders through early conversation is key to advancing successful mining projects. And it's a fundamental element that's consistently emphasized by the Alliance and its members. For more than a century, the people of BC have been developing a robust mining industry. It's been achieved through their hard work and their dedication to the trade and through investment in innovation to improve safety and processes. And we take immense pride in our accomplishments. But we know that it is people who are at the heart of mining. That's why we are dedicated to collaborating with you to set up this sustainable, low-carbon future for us all. And conferences like this, of course, are one valuable forum for gathering people from around the world, for encouraging meaningful connections, bringing forward innovative ideas, and supporting constructive dialogue about the critical role that the mining sector plays in our lives. So I very much look forward to continuing our work together to support and encourage progress, the growth of the mining sector, and all of the people and communities that rely on it. Thank you so much for having me today.